Okay, story mode again. Oi there, mateys. Time for another story time. But I am going to need your help with this story. There is no book. It's all going to come from my brain. And it is based on a sea shanty, I guess. I'm not entirely sure. I'm totally stole it from another storyteller. But what you will need is a piece of paper. So can everybody go and grab themselves a piece of paper? Right, with your piece of paper, we're going to turn it into a boat. So what I need you to do, first of all, is fold it in half. And then I need you to fold it in half again. So where the open point is, fold it in half again. So when you open it out, it should have this gap in the middle. Okay, so open it back out to this point. And now I want you to take the folded part, the top point, and I want you to fold it into that line in the middle so that you make a triangle. Okay, and then I want you to take the other point and fold it into the middle as well. So what you should have is a point with two flaps like this. You can get your adult to help you if you want. And then I want you to open out the bottom two flaps and I want you to fold them up one way. So you have that, and then when you turn over, you can fold this one up the other way. And what you should have is a boat. Hurrah! In our story, I'm going to need a little bit of help. Make sure that you have your boats with you, and we're also going to learn a little bit of a song so you can help me out at certain points in the story. When you see this symbol, I want you to sing along with me, okay? So the words go something like this, okay? I sing this bit, and when I point at you, it's your turn to sing. So it goes, look ahead, look astern, look the weather. Sorry, is that right? Yeah. Look ahead, look astern, look the weather and the lee. Okay, so that's my bit. Your bit goes, blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. So what I want you to say is blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. Can you do that for me? Blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. So when we sing, it goes blow high, blow low, and so sailed we. Fantastic. And then I have to remember the words of me. I see a wreck to windward and a lofty ship to thee. Okay, that's my bit. And your bit goes sailing all along the coast of High Barbary. So sailing along the coast of High Barbary. Think we can do that? Okay, so I go I see a wreck to windward and a lofty ship to thee, sailing all along the coast of High Barbary. So you guys are going to sing that along whenever you sing this symbol, okay? Are we ready? I think we are. So once upon a time, there was a little boy called Henry, and Henry dreamed of nothing more than sailing on the high seas. His father was a sailor, and his grandfather before him and his great-grandfather before him. They were sailors, so he knew it was in his blood. However, he had lost his grandfather at sea, and ever since his mother refused to allow him to go out onto the waters. No sailing, no fishing, nothing. So obviously Henry was quite upset about this. Until one day, Henry was invited by the local sailors to join them on a voyage. They were going to sail the seas and see what they could find and go on all sorts of adventures. Well, obviously, Henry's mum didn't agree. Why would she? She doesn't want to go on the seas. It's dangerous. It's full of high winds, high tides, raging waves. There's no way she was going to let him. But one night, Henry snuck out of the house and joined the sailors on their boat while his mum was sleeping. How very naughty. But once he was on board, he felt quite at home. And along the way, the sailors sung many sea shanties to keep their spirits high on the high seas. Look ahead, look astern, look the weather and the lee. Blow high, blow low, and so sail we. I see a wreck to windward and a lofty ship to thee, sailing all along the coast of High Barbary. And it kept them going for many a night. It wasn't until the morning when Mum woke up and noticed that Henry was gone, and her heart sank. Surely he couldn't have escaped and gone into the boats without her permission? Surely not. Henry's a better boy than that. When she ran to his bedroom, Henry was gone. Where could he have possibly gone? She ran to the local inn, and through the door she saw there sitting old Tom. Now, old Tom wasn't one for gossip, but he did love a good story. And he had a little one to tell, about how he noticed Henry sneak out in the middle of the night and join the sailors, and off their ship sailed. Well, obviously, poor Henry's mother was distraught. Her son was now on board a ship which she thought would be very dangerous, but there was nothing she could do, so she simply went home and sat and waited. Then one night she heard at the door a loud knock, and when she opened the door, there stood old Tom, flustered, sweating, his eyes bulging. She invited him in and sat him down. "What on earth's the matter, Tom? You look scared out of your wits." Old Tom took a deep breath. "I have some news for you." Henry's mum, who doesn't have a name, we'll call her Sheila, maybe, sat there looking quite distraught. What on earth could Tom have to say? Had something happened to Henry? "I have some news for you regarding Henry's ship. I was out for a walk during the stormy night, and from the top of the cliffs I saw Henry's ship." Obviously, Mum was sitting there quite silent, quite upset, as you'd imagine. A stormy night, and we spotted the ship. What on earth could he be talking about? The ship was caught in the storm, Sheila. The waves tossed it up, the waves tossed it down, and unfortunately, a large lightning strike struck the side of the boat, tearing the front of it off. Can you tear one side of your boat off, please, for dramatic effect, and throw it away? But during the storm, old Tom said that the voices of the sailors could still be heard, the spirits still high. "Look ahead, look astern, look the weather and the lee. Blow high, blow low, and so sail we. I see a wreck to windward on a lofty ship to thee, sailing all along the coast of high Barbary." Well, obviously, Sheila's mind was not put to rest by this. A ship? With only half a ship? Still being able to sail? With the sailors still singing? Surely not. But Tom continued. "But that wasn't it, Sheila. The boat kept sailing up and sailing down. But then a second lightning strike struck and tore the other end of the boat off." Can you tear the other half of your ship off? This poor ship. But alas, the sailors still kept singing. Henry, I'm sure, amongst them all. "Look ahead, look astern, look the weather and the lee. Blow high, blow low, and so sail we. I see a wreck to windward and a lofty ship to thee, sailing all along the coast of high Barbary." Sheila sat there, silent. Her poor son, aboard this ship that was only barely a ship, struck down by lightning in this horrible storm. What could Tom possibly have to say that might make her feel better? But the ship, Sheila, kept on sailing, even in that horrible storm, even though some of the ship had been blown to pieces by lightning. It kept on sailing. It sailed up and it sailed down, sailed through all the awful waves, being tossed up, being tossed down, until at last they saw land. But unfortunately for the ship, a third lightning strike struck, taking the top of the ship off, striking the mast and taking it off. Can you remove the mast of your ship? Surely the ship could no longer sail, thought Sheila. What on earth could have possibly happened to Henry? And unfortunately, Tom had nothing better to say. He said he heard the singing one more time. Look ahead, look astern, look the weather in the lee. Blow high, blow low, and so sail we. I see a wreck to windward and a lofty ship to lee, a sailing all along the coast of high Barbary. But unfortunately, Sheila, the ship sank. What Sheila meant to think at this point? The ship carrying her son, tossing over in the horrible storm, in the high waves, the unforgiving sea. Tom took off his hat, bowed his head. I'm sorry, Sheila. And then left the house. Oh dear. Poor Sheila. Another knock at the door. Who could it possibly be? This was not the time for visitors when she was feeling so upset about her Henry ship. But when she went to the door and opened it, there was Henry, standing right in front of her, dripping wet. Henry, but this can't possibly be. Your ship sank. Henry pushed his mother inside and took a deep breath. It's true, our ship sank. Even with the singing and the optimism and the high hopes, it was no match for the lightning and the unforgiven sea. Mum, you're forgetting one important thing, something that you always taught me, something that my father and my grandfather also taught me. You never go to sea without your life jacket. Ta-da! Obviously, Sheila hugged Henry very, very tightly and forbade him from ever going on a ship again. But remember that for future. Life jackets save lives. Have a great night.